Okay. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Belia.
Hello, Thierry.
We are welcome everybody for this third edition of our webinar series. Focus on the topic we'll be discussing today will be on the theme managing performance improvement in changing times. It will be the third edition. We'll be with Mr. Belia NEL, who is based in South Africa. She's a specialized expert on issues related to human performance improvement and CPT certified at ISPI. She was also awarded a Distinguished Service Award in 2020 at ISPI. So she's also a board member of the Directorate of the ISPI, based in the United States. She will going to be with us for 1 hour and 30 minutes time. I will be discussing those topics. We'll introduce some words in French. Bonjour à toute l'audience et bienvenue à cette troisième session de notre série de webinaires post-COVID-19. La session d'aujourd'hui portera sur le management de l'amélioration des performances en des périodes qui changent. Nous recevons aujourd'hui Madame Belia NEL. Madame Belia NEL qui est basée en Afrique du Sud et qui est une experte des questions d'amélioration des performances avec un accent fort sur les human resources. Madame Belia NEL est certifiée CPT de l'ISPI et elle a été connue, distinguée d'un award service de l'ISPI en 2020. Elle est aussi autrice, speaker et consultant international sur les questions de management de la performance. Elle sera avec nous pour une durée de 1h30 minutes durant cet échange où nous discuterons de ces sujets, où nous partagerons des points de vue sur ces sujets-là. Donc, sur ce, je vous souhaite la bienvenue pour cette session-ci. Nos échanges se feront, étant donné que Madame Belia NEL est anglo-saxonne, elle présentera en anglais et j'assurerai autant que possible les synthèses et les traductions en français pour notre audience typiquement francophone. So, Mrs. Belia NEL, I give you the floor now so that you can introduce your presentation for 30 minutes or 45 minutes maximum before going for the question and answer phase to come back again on some details to better give advices and explain something you will be talking about during your presentation. You have the floor, Mrs. Belia NEL.
Thank you, Thierry, and thank you so much for that really warm welcome. So as Thierry has indicated, our topic today is performance improvement in changing times. However, you know, whether we are focusing on performance improvement or improving performance, changing times are really omnipresent. So whether we believe that we are now in a particular era of rapid change, I think that is going to substantially escalate. So today I have decided on 2 topic points or focus points. I want to introduce you to performance improvement, the systems thinking approach. And then I also would like to indicate to you how I've integrated Agile into this performance improvement systems thinking. So really, just as a brief definition, performance improvement is really a value-added focus practice, providing a total view on performance. So if you look at any organization or any team, it's a complete system, and we need to treat performance in such a system holistically. So in performance improvement as a methodology, as a practice, it identifies barriers and enablers to achieve business results. And we are really, in essence, gap workers, because what we do is our mind is focusing on looking at barriers and gaps at a work level, which is the operational level, the world level, the workplace level, which is the organizational level, and then, of course, people. However, we need to stress that in any organization, people are central to performance. So the real benefits of having this performance improvement systems approach to performance is that we, as managers and business leaders and owners, we have a sense of faster problem solving. We can efficiently and rapidly make decisions. We can improve performance through a value add versus just activity based, and we can effectively fit the people to processes, and of course continuously an improved ROI. But let's get straight into that. So here I've depicted the systems view, and central through this approach is the performance results. But in the center, you can very well picture people. However, the systems thinking approach is made up of three levels: the work, the worker, and the workplace, and of course the world, and which is the external environment, has an influence on our work in performance. I want to highlight that we don't look at this in equal areas, but what it means that if there is a misalignment at the organizational level, it will surface at the process level, it will surface at the worker level, and vice versa. So we really need to, in everything we do, think of what is the impact on what we are going to do, what we are going to commit to in terms of work, worker, workplace, and world. If we look at this at a typically iceberg model, I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, are familiar with the iceberg model. I've positioned the systems thinking model, our practice of work, worker, workplace, on the iceberg. And as business leaders and managers, we are very aware most of the time of symptoms in performance at an operational level and of a people level. But it's not always that easy to identify what I call the invisible performance indicators. Those are the indicators that are below the waterline. And we sometimes need to take a deep dive approach, take a step back and understand what are those invisible performance indicators. I'm not suggesting in all instances that the operational and the people performance indicators are that visible. But through your experience, I'm sure you'll agree with me that you can easily or more easy pick up performance issues from people than it would be from a strategy that's not working or from a culture that is not appropriate anymore in changing times. So I've leveraged this model from a systems thinking perspective so that we really need to understand that sometimes we need to fix things at an organizational level rather than immediately jump to fixing people issues or operational or process issues. But let's move right on. So in terms of our performance improvement approach, we have a practice, and we have the practice is the systems thinking, which I've just indicated to you, and we have principles, which is an easy acronym RSVP. So uppermost in our preventing performance, how will we fix it? How will we ensure quality of the proposed solution? How will we implement the proposed solution? And most importantly, how we evaluate. Now, I've indicated question 1, 2, and 3 in red because that's in essence what we quickly need to do. What is the need? What are the barriers or the gaps preventing performance, and how will we evaluate? Now, the reason why I've put number 3 in blue is that typically many organizations will jump to fixing it. I hear so many times in organizations, managers and leaders saying, oh, I know what the problem is, we need to fix it. We need to fix it with training or some survey or whatever the fad is of the day. However, when you want to then evaluate what the impact was of that particular intervention, it's very hard to connect the dots because you may not be fixing the correct problem if you did not apply the performance improvement systems thinking approach. So here is performance improvement on one page. I've numbered them because they are according to the international standards for performance improvement as per the International Society for Performance Improvement. So here is what I call the RSVP, as I refer to this also as our business lens. This is the lens that we should view every approach through, every problem, every solution that we want to implement. And here from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, this is really our systematic approach. So given our systems thinking approach of worker, workplace. And in essence, this is a methodology that is focusing on finding the gaps. What are the gaps and what are the barriers? So central to this methodology is our practice, worker, workplace, and the world informing or indicating, or typically the world indicators are those indicators that we cannot control. And the COVID pandemic is a very good example of something that we cannot control, and yet it has a major impact on our business, our performance, and our results. Anchoring our methodology is something that you are also very familiar with, our typical input, process, output, foundation, building blocks. My approach, or our approach, is to start with a customer and end with a customer. But we can come back to this methodology, and I'm happy to share this, and Thierry will obviously share all of this with you anyway. So if we look at how can we integrate an agile approach to our performance systems thinking, here I have designed for you a one-page approach to introducing agile. Now, as you know, agile is not software, agile is not IT, agile is not systems. Agile is really a mindset approach to performance. So if we start with the typical agile values, and we add to that our RSVP performance principles, and we apply our systems thinking practice of worker, workplace, and world, and we keep reminding ourselves of our foundation building blocks of starting with a customer and ending with a customer, I've also indicated for you then the how we can do this. I will briefly discuss with you the pair question model. I'd like to show you our performance correcting framework, which really looks at the barriers, the the enablers and the change of behaviors. And then, of course, the performance improvement systems methodology that I've already shared with you. And we won't have time to look at the performance systems thinking ROI model, but I will also share with you the future fit skill set model. So if we look at an integrated performance framework, really what we want to accomplish very easily and quickly and rapidly and swiftly is what needs to be done, how are we going to be achieving it through our tools and methodologies, and why are we going to do it. So what I've created here is what I call the pair model. Everything we do and should be doing is totally dependent on information. If we don't have the information and the data, we cannot apply any of our systems thinking approach. So we'll probe for information, we'll analyze to correct the performance, we need to respond to the change, and of course the most important part is to evaluate. So I've indicated here again what I call the 12+4 performance question model. We've got the performance correcting framework, which I'll take you through in a minute. And I'll also refer you to our future fit skills set model. And of course, we unfortunately don't have time for the ROI model, but you're more than welcome to mail me for any of these. So why we do this is because we really need to understand what is the need. We really need to understand what are the barriers preventing performance. Decide what we need to design. Ensure that we have the quality and the conformity to that need, because often we implement something that is so far removed from the original need, and that makes it extremely difficult when we have to evaluate and measure the impact. So just a very brief way of how I visually see the pair question model. When we probe for our information, we'll do that. We'll probe for information or find information at a people level, at the organizational level, and the organizational level includes things like strategy, communication, leadership. It includes things like access to information and data. The worker level we define as the skills and